So you just bought a new house. Now it's time to care for it. Sign up for a free workshop from the Home Depot. We'll go over the basics of power and hand tools, air and electrical systems, lawn care, and more, so you can take on upkeep with confidence. Every workshop is live, interactive, and led by our expert associates, so you can get all your questions answered. Keep your home looking its best with Homeowner 101 Basics. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Register now at homedepot.com/workshops.
Progressive presents an ad from Mom.
What does it say here? Bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive and get protection round the clock. You know what? I'm sorry. I think it should be around. What are you signaling? Me to stop talking? Oh, all right. I'll stop talking. No, just had to tell me. That's all you had
Get
to
round-the-clock protection when you bundle and save with Progressive. It's easier than getting your mom to make this radio ad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is John Silver, lead recruiter of the Dark Order, and you are listening to All Things Elite.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 190th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Somewhat's. I am the host of this lovely show, and joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Floyd Johnson Jr. My man, how are you doing?
Dude, let me tell you. I'm doing pretty freaking awesome. Pretty fantastic. If some of you might have seen on the old Twitter sphere, my boys FTR, they announced they had been talking about for a while. They finally decided to release it. The FTR Legacy title, 7 stars, and on one side there's a picture of Cash, one side there's a picture of Dax, and then it says FTR on the leather, and then it's a beautiful, beautiful belt. It is made by, I'm going to make sure I get the name right because I don't want to do them wrong, because it's a beautiful belt. It's a beautiful belt. They followed me earlier today. So, where they followed me? I'm missing it. All right. Yeah, so I put a little thing about the greatest on here today, and it's just like, oh, okay. So, it is made by Main Event Belts.
All right.
So, Main Event Belts, they're based out of the UK. It's a legacy title. I guess they got presented it this week. Says FTR across the belt. I mean, it reminds me a bit of, like in tone of the Super Kick title from the Young Bucks.
Right, yeah.
It's not the same thing, of course, but it's just like, yeah, it's like one belt plate is it says Top Guy Dax Harwood. On the other, it's Cash Wheeler, Top Guy. It says Living Legends, Top Guy out on the bottom. And then, of course, it has 2 fists, which is kind of amazing. Very excited about this. They're only doing 20 different, the limited release 20, $1,500 a piece. Yeah, and it starts Friday, so it is not a cheap title. I will say that. It is not a cheap title, but, your boys get
it looks cool. Yeah. It also reminds me, do you remember those All-In belts that the Young Bucks and Cody got? Kind of reminded me of that one too.
Yes. And for me, I mean, it's gonna be my signature wrestling piece. Like, period. It's gonna be. I never planned on starting a wrestling collection at all. It's just I started going to every show, and then I would get this at the show, and I would get that at the show, and then shop AEW, and I ended up becoming a wrestling collector. And it was like an accident, but yeah. So it's gonna be my prized thing. It's gonna be my prized possession, like, easily. So I am looking forward to ordering it and getting it, and it's dope to me. It's so, like, and I look at my wife and she says, "So when is it coming?" That's all she said. Dude, somebody, you tell like, anybody out there, you're married, tell your wife you're about to spend $1,500 on a title.
Yeah.
And
you're going to get an ass whipping.
My wife's like, "So when is it coming?" That was her question.
So lovely. So lovely. Like, that's what we all dream of.
Yeah, the person that just gets you on that level. So it's just like, it's like, okay. And she's like, and it was funny because when they first said it, the first time they said it, they said, we're going to, they said we're going to pick the 20 people. And my wife looked at me, and with her little cocky attitude that she does, because my wife's a little spitfire, she was like, "So you better be one of the people they pick." And I was like, the belt's going to cost like $1,500. And she was like, "You better be one of the people they pick." And I was like, man, yeah. I know I'm married to the right person. Just put it that
Absolutely, way. Yeah. But no, I'm right there with you. I'm feeling good. I'm psyched and I'm excited for next week. We're recording this immediately after Dynamite in Baltimore just ended. I'm just itching for Detroit, dude. I'm so fucking hyped for that show. I'm like so stoked. I'm glad that it seems like we've got 2 Detroit shows already, and we're just getting cage matches every single time. I want that to become a tradition at this point. I'm super hyped for that. Yeah, and I'm fucking stoked because my favorite artist Ed Sheeran's dropping on Friday too. So I'm fucking stoked about that. So I'm doing solid though. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about though in AEW coming off of this episode of Dynamite in Baltimore. We're gonna get into all of it. First, we want to make sure you guys are downloading this fine show on Google or Apple Podcasts. Make sure you also, if you listen to us on Spotify or wherever you listen to us, share us around with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. You can also leave a rating and review. It really helps out the show. Be sure also to subscribe and notify yourself so you never miss an episode as well. And you can also follow us on Twitter at ATElitePod, at Social Suplex are the guys that make this show possible. Check out all the other shows they have on their network. I am at Austin Sumowicz, SZUMOWICZ. And Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And, of course, the big AEW news of the week is the fact that the pre-sale for AEW All in London at Wembley Stadium went down. A boy, Floyd, got his tickets. He will be there. I did not. I was too busy getting fucked over by Ticketmaster for Ed Sheeran tickets at Royal Oak for a super small Subtract show. Don't want to get into it. Fuck Ticketmaster. I didn't even get a chance. They sold out immediately too, like I knew they would. Your boy didn't even get a chance to try because I didn't get a pre-sale code. I got fucking waitlisted. But your boy Floyd though, while I was dying, got all in London tickets, and I'm hyped for him. And the pre-sale did numbers.
So let me tell you, I did have a bit of an odyssey trying to get tickets. I wanted to save it for the show. I was going to tell you before the show, but I was like, I'm going to save it for the show. So I get up. I actually took off Monday night because I had just worked a countless amount of OT hours, so I was tired. So I took off Monday night, not forgetting that tickets went on sale at 2:30 in the morning. So it's like if I was already working, I'd already be up. But no, I had to get up at 2:30 in the morning. I get on. I get my account set up, have my card ready. I log in, get in the queue. 82 when tickets go on sale. I am 82. Highest number I ever got at one of those. I am 82. I get in, and I had my 6 sections that I wanted to sit in, right? And I got, the first time it came up, it put me in this other section, put me on the floor. I didn't want to sit on the floor. I wanted to sit in these 100 sections. So I got the section I wanted, like my number 1 section, 110. So I go in, and the first time is completely on me. I forgot to pick the United States, so when I was putting in the zip code for my payment information, it wasn't taking it. It was saying wrong postal code, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I had to go back out. So I lose those tickets because it takes me way too long to figure out what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm trying to rush, and I'm like panicking because I don't want to lose tickets, so I don't like breathe. So I go in for the second time. I breathe. I was like, okay, I picked United States. All right, get section, not 110, 109, right? And again, one of the 6 sections I wanted to sit in. Put my thing in, not taking the card. Put it in again. Nope, we're not taking your card. Put it in again. Screw you. Not taking the card. So I lose those tickets. This time it kicks me out and gets me back in the queue, right?
Oh, no.
So I go back through the queue. I keep refreshing, get another set of tickets. I don't know what the freak is going on. So I tried 4 different payments. None of them are accepting it. I mean, I don't have much hair, but I'm about to pull it out. Right? I don't have ticket anxiety anymore because generally, you know me. If I don't get what I want, I'll just wait on the secondary market. But I've literally had the tickets that I wanted in my queue ready to purchase 4 times at this point. I am upset. I call my card companies and they say, it's on their end. There's nothing you're doing wrong. It is on their end. Call Ticketmaster. Well, we don't know what's going on, right? First of all, it's really hard to find a Ticketmaster phone number. So get a Ticketmaster number. They're like, we don't know what's going on, right? So I missed the whole first pre-sale. So I go in for the second pre-sale. But before I get on, my friend Jeremy got up. Jeremy Donovan, keeping it strong style, Social Suplex, the podfather of the Social Suplex, and in today, my hero. Because he asked me this simple question. Again, so I want you to know, I work in IT. I work on computers. This is what I do for a living. I have restarted my computer. I've cleared my cookies. I have made sure I was entering in the card right. Like, there is no logical computer reason that this shouldn't work, right? Mm-hmm. So he's like, did you save your card? Did you save your card in the stored payment information? I'm like, no, because it's still submitting the same information. There's no reason. But okay. I'm like, dude, I'm desperate. I want tickets. So I store my payment information. Get in there. They're only giving me tickets in the 500s. I'm like, the pre-sale, 43,000 tickets. For each pre-sale, they only allotted a certain amount of tickets. So this pre-sale is apparently sold out. So I go to the platinum seats, and I go platinum floor. It gives me section T, which is on the pitch, which is on the ground. I think it's going to be like risers. I'm hoping it's risers. Otherwise, these are the shittiest tickets ever. So I buy these tickets, and I pay a little more than I want. I get a ticket to the Fan Fest. I go through it. Boom. Right through.
Amazing.
No problem. So shout out to the legend, the real MVP of my life, Mr. Jeremy Donovan, because literally wouldn't have thought of that. Like, I work with people that work in databases and stuff like that, and they said, there's no reason that should have worked. There's no reason that should have worked. It doesn't process the information. They're still processing your name, your address, and the card number and expiration date. Still processing the same information. But rejection after rejection after rejection, I got through. I am going to London. I am going to Wembley Stadium. The boyhood dream comes true since 1990.
So excited for you.
Since 1992, Bret Hart and Davey Boy Smith main eventing. I've always wanted to go to wanted to be a part of a British crowd. Always wanted to be a part of a British crowd. Different progress shows and stuff. I'm a procrastinator. I am a terrible procrastinator. So I could never make it go through. I have submitted my passport information. I have bought tickets to the show. Right now, like, dude, I'm going to London to see a wrestling show with, I can honestly say, at minimum, probably going to be about 60,000 people. My number has always been 82,132. I don't know why that number has popped up in my head. I don't know why. And you know, it was like, you're just saying a number. I'm like, no, dude. I just think England's hungry for a big show.
They are.
You only can do the first show in a territory once, right? So this is the first show, and it's going to be an amazing show. And if a certain Chicago-made punk happens to headline the show,
absolutely,
I think it'll get to 80. I think it'll get to 80. But I think they should do like All In. I really do, like the original All In. I would almost make this a one-off, almost completely different from All Out. Like this is an all-star show. I'm talking Kazuchika Okada. I'm talking Will Ospreay. I'm talking the biggest names in professional wrestling, the dreamiest of dream matches, the trioest of trios matches, and like, dude, just like there was. If you remember the first All In, there was only one title match.
I know
there was only one. It was just a bunch of banger-ass matches. And I think that's what All In should be this time. I don't think there should be a lot of stakes in the matches. I just think it should
it's the dream match show.
Yeah, it should be an all-star game. And that way you can still stick to your storylines and have your stakes for
and
All
have
Out.
your stuff set for All Out. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but this is the all-star game. You do MJF versus... Yeah, you do MJS versus Tanahashi or somebody like that. You do all these dream matches. Bryan Danielson versus ZSJ that we've talked about for years. You do all the big shit. But yeah, like I said, none of the matches, count or whatever. Like no titles on the line. And just have a fucking amazing time, except one title. FTR versus whatever champion you want so they can add another, feather in their cap. Now, like, to me, Aussie Open, they are from Australia, right? But they are as a UK of a team as you can get. So Aussie Open versus FTR in Wembley Stadium would be a banger.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But again, the numbers, 43,000 tickets already sold in the pre-sale. They're still doing general admission sales on Friday. Already doing great.
They have another special sale tomorrow. Like I think, like the Ringside Collectibles people are doing. They're sending out a code for you. It's like, it's going to be the bangiest of all bangers. So everybody get tickets, especially if you look in the UK. I have so many pictures with our friends from the UK, and they're always here. So I'm going to get all my pictures with my friends in the UK in their homes, in their home area. It's a shout out to all of them. I love them all, man.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievably an incredible night. I'm sure. Like I said, I'm so excited for that show and when it takes place. I'm so excited that you get to be there. I'm stoked you got tickets. Like I said, I dedicated my time to other things and got burned, like fucking burned. But yeah, so regardless, it's going to be an amazing time. And I would have never made London anyway. It's during that's literally near the first week of high school football season. I ain't going to be able to make it, dude. We're going to be way too crazy.
Yeah, like, you know what? And everybody's like, I always say the first thing on my list of the reasons I can go places is my job. Right? That's like, I love my job for that. They do whatever it takes for me to go somewhere. I think maybe in the 8 years I've got, I can count on one hand the amount of shows I've had to miss because of work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy because you think about the amount of shows I've been to.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, I can say count on one hand the amount of shows I've missed, the amount of shows that I've missed because of work.
For sure, yeah. But that is our big news of the week. We'll move over now to AEW Dynamite Baltimore. Now, the reason we didn't do a show, we tweeted this out last week. The reason why we didn't do a show last week was because we were fully invested in the NFL draft and all of that stuff. So we weren't able to talk about the debut of the one and only Roderick Strong coming out to help out Adam Cole against the JAS. Now, when Kyle O'Reilly gets healthy and we can get another Undisputed Era without bum-ass Bobby Fish screwing everything up and stinking up the joint, it's going to be amazing. Just have to say that. And the fact that people honestly thought he was still signed by NXT. We honestly thought this dude was still under contract. It was so quiet on that regard. We didn't even fucking have an idea. And then he just shows up and amazing pop. I just had to mention that because we weren't able to talk about it last week.
No, and I do, yes. There is very few times in wrestling that you can truly, and I mean truly actually, like shock someone. You know what I mean? And I had no clue that he wasn't with WWE. That's how shocking this was. I had no clue that he wasn't, signed with WWE, that his contract had expired. No one that I know had reported this. So that's pretty cool. That was a feather in their cap, and they were in Sunrise, Florida. Roddy Strong lives in Florida, so no one could see him on an airplane or anything like that. They snuck him in, and apparently the only people that knew he was going to be there were the people that he were in the ring with. So, man, shout out. And now he works with his wife, Marina. Got a lot of got a lot of married couples in AEW, or together couples in AEW, not necessarily married. So it's really cool because Roderick Strong is one of those, there's nothing he doesn't do well in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's in ring next level. He's top performer. But as far as when you need character work, when you need a decent promo, you know what I mean? Is he gonna knock you off the socks? No, he's not The Rock, but he's gonna give a good promo. It's nothing in wrestling that man doesn't do well. So I am very happy. He's a Swiss Army knife. Very happy to have him. And anytime you got Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong in the area, if you don't see people throwing up the UE, I don't know what to expect. So it would be kind of cool to see them as, faces. So that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm really excited about it. I was, like I said, I got caught so off guard. I love the joke that went around that Roderick Strong's logo looked like Sean Ross Sapp. So people were like, is Sean coming out? Like, what the fuck? I thought that was a funny little joke.
Dude, let me say, when I saw it, it looked like SRS, not
That's
RS.
what I thought, dude. That's what I thought.
And I was like, no, they're not having Sean Ross Sapp come out and then Roderick Strong. I was like, my wife's in the other room, and I audibly yell because it's like, this is the second time they've gotten me. Like Jay White and this one, I'm like I thought Jay White was signing with the WWE. That was all the rumors that I'd heard.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Robert Strong, I didn't even know he wasn't with the WWE. And he comes, and they both come out, audible yell. I am very happy to have Roderick Strong in AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That led into how this show started off in Baltimore with Dynamite. We had Orange Cassidy, the AEW International Champion, teaming up with Adam Cole, Bandito, and Roderick Strong facing the JAS, Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager, with Chris Jericho coming down to the ramp and sitting at commentary with the T-shirt of Dr. Britt Baker with a black eye, which also y'all complaining and saying that shirt, like AEW making that shirt, promotes domestic violence. You're fucking stupid. I want to, honest to God, say that. A lot of times, I try not to be as blunt. I try not to be as blunt. But if you're honest to God going out being like, that T-shirt design promotes domestic violence, you do realize this shit is fake, right? Shut the fuck up. Seriously, some of y'all are so fucking mental and just itching for something to be like, What can I latch on to fucking try to bring this company down? It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
My problem has been this. If you go to Britt Baker's page, this is not even her first bloody
exactly
shirt. This is not even her first bloody face shirt.
There's shirts of her with blood dripping down her face, and then all of a sudden the one with a black eye.
Yeah,
that's the one that you're fucking triggered by.
Yeah, do you? It's like, to me, it's like it's a combat sports shirt. You know, it's like I don't even know, and I know this is about to be so simplistic, and I know this is not how the world works, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you don't like the shirt, keep scrolling and just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Or why does it have to be that? Like, literally,
if you wanted to honestly go like okay, you release this shirt, haha, it's cool for storyline. Who the hell is gonna buy this shirt? I'm with you, honestly. I don't know who's gonna buy the shirt. Me personally, I'm not gonna be wearing a shirt of a busted I didn't buy the bloody. I will say that I didn't buy the bloody Britt Baker shirt just because I'm like, I don't know what, like, I already get people weird looks. Have I told this story before? Actually, I got the funniest fucking story actually about wearing a wrestling shirt in public.
No.
So I was in New York for SummerSlam, and I was on a train. I was like on the train heading towards Brooklyn to go do a meet. Like, I was going to meet Becky Lynch. So because I didn't have any Becky Lynch shirts at the time, I actually wore a Sami Zayn shirt because I knew they interacted on a. I don't know if they'd done the mixed match challenge yet at this point, but they had done stuff on a up down before. So I was like, okay, they're friends. So I'll wear this shirt, I guess, because I don't have a Becky Lynch shirt. But I was wearing it on the train. It's the one where he's got like the ska pose, like where his arms are like doing like the little run thing, and he's got the flat cap on. He's got the red white on it. That's the best I can describe it. But I was wearing it, and someone, honest to God, looked at my shirt and thought it was a Nazi logo. I'm not even kidding. I was like, "Are you okay?" They were like, "Are you okay wearing that?" And it's like, well, I mean, it's a wrestling shirt. I mean, like, he's like, no, I mean, it's like, it looks like a Nazi logo. I'm like, no, this is a person. This is a person doing like a little like pose. Like, it's not a Nazi logo. I promise you. It was the fucking weirdest thing I've ever gone through before. And I've looked at the shirt and I'm like, do people honestly look at this shirt and think like that's a swastika?
Dude, so I've done that. I mean, I have the Redeem These Nuts shirt.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
So I have that shirt.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. It's like, if you're upset about that, it's like, bro, that shirt says These Nuts on it.
Yeah, so it says it like really big, and they're like, well, it says Eddie Kingston. Who sees the Eddie Kingston?
Yeah, no, trust me. That's the first thing they're gonna see is the D's Nuts.
The Redeem These Nuts shirts, and I wore all sorts of different shirts. I wore my, just like literally any of my FTR shirts or whatever. But I have the Britt Baker, I have the And New shirts, and I have one of the bloody face shirts. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever said anything.
Exactly.
And if I wore the black eyed shirt, if somebody asks, "Oh, she's a wrestler," that's what I'd say. If somebody looks at me funny, "Oh, she's a wrestler," and they'd say, "Okay," and then they move the fuck off.
Exactly. No, it's the fucking craziest thing that people were latching onto that. I was genuinely stunned.
Yeah, now, if it had like Adam Cole on the front, on the side, it's like, I already told her once. Okay, yes.
Yeah, okay, yes. Then exactly, yeah.
But it's just a woman with the black eye.
Or like, get the sandwich right. I'm just like, yeah, okay, I get it.
No, but and that's what I'm saying. It's like most intelligent people, can differentiate on these kind of shirts. Can it be taken that way? Yes. It can be taken exactly the way that you want.
But like I said,
the people
I've got a Sami Zayn shirt that people took as like a fucking swastika.
Yes.
When it's like not like intelligent people would look at that and be like, that's a person. Like that's a ska reference.
But I'm saying the people that won't know what it's talking about don't watch wrestling anyway, so they don't matter. It's like when you wear an Ed Sheeran shirt with a Ed Sheeran lyric on it, right? And someone is like looks at your shirt and they don't know what the lyric means, right?
Dude, I have a necklace.
Yeah.
I have a necklace because all his albums are math symbols. So I have a plus, like a plus necklace, and people mistake it for like a cross, like
Yes.
like I'm wearing like a Christianity cross. I'm like, no, I just like Ed Sheeran.
The people that are supposed to get it, get it. The people that aren't supposed to get it, don't get it. And that's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Or they'll be like, oh, you're a math major. No.
No. It's like I said, it's just one of those things. It's just like, it's like everybody wants everybody to be gotten to. But,
Yes.
you don't necessarily have to be. And I'm not going to change the way I dress, what I wear, what I purchase based on what someone else thinks. Now, when I worked in the office, of course, I was going into work. There's certain stuff I couldn't wear. And there's a lot of my clothes I wouldn't wear to the office. But I work at home, so I wear what I want all the time. But, yeah, when I go to the mall, honestly, I don't even pay attention. I grab a wrestling shirt blindly out of my closet, throw it on, and go. And they'd be like, oh, you wore that shirt. I don't even think about it. But that's me. I know people like to be angry. I mean, it is 2023, and everybody's favorite pastime is anger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, I'm bored. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go scroll Twitter until something pisses me off.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna get involved.
But regardless, the match itself, the 8-man tag match, honestly, was pretty solid. I will say.
God, it was so fun.
I loved how Adam Cole just in between the match was just looking to go towards the ramp to get towards Jericho, and then regardless, once the match was finished off, when Adam Cole hit the boom knee, and then he gets the pinfall win, he literally sprints out of the ring and just fucking runs up the ramp towards the broadcast table. Trying to get Chris Jericho, who's too busy screaming and staring at the monitors that he doesn't even look up to realize there's an Adam Cole chasing after me, and he just jumps him, and they beats the shit out of him, and he's like, he's a menace, get him out of here. I just loved how that was the first instinct that he had. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah,
opening match, honestly, was pretty strong, I will say.
I did. I loved Daniel Garcia's little dancing, Yes, I loved his little groove. I just thought it was really fun. Chris Jericho on commentary was amazing because he's like, if somebody was messing with my loved one, there's no one that can hold me back. And it's like, Adam Cole was handcuffed when they were beating on Britt. It was just hilarious. He was being such a dick, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So after the match, though, there was an interview with Jack Perry and Darby Allin, Jungle Boy and Darby Allin. And basically, there's them being like, we're the ones that's stopping this from happening so we can get the 4-way like we all wanted. And then also Adam Cole was being taken out of the arena while Chris Jericho was just screaming at him like, get out, get out. And Britt Baker gets so pissed that she just comes up and slaps Chris Jericho in the face. And because he's so dazed, he just fucking falls down, which I also love her getting a little bit of revenge too.
Yeah, that was really cool. It's just like I love how it's moving the story forward.
Yeah. So there's that. Then we had a really good Blackpool Combat Club backstage promo where Danielson was talking about how, well, first off, he takes a shot at Bret Hart and he goes like, well, there's a man whose son said he was the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. How ridiculous can you believe of that? To think that there's nobody better after you.
Let me just say this. I've heard Dax and Cass in a live show say their dream opponents, their next tag team they want to feud with, are Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one person in this world other than, Dax's wife and daughter that you don't talk about without expecting a fight. And that man is Bret Hart. So
yep.
I feel like it's leading to something there.
Please.
I feel like that might be coming down the road.
Yeah. So he makes that comparison basically. He's like, saying like, even if this little shit Yuta I want him to surpass me one day. We want AEW to be the best wrestling company that there ever has been, and that's because we make people better. And that's what Moxley was going on. The Elite should thank us for sharpening them. It's like, look, there was a time when you guys were cutting edge, but I don't know, like, you just haven't been. And so you get the steel cage match between Mox and Omega, and Mox Omega. Those two, it just hits different. Said, we get more better and dangerous every single day. I got a whole new version of Jon Moxley I can't wait to show Kenny Omega, and we're going to leave one hell of a mark as he motions as he's got a scar going around his face. The hype for this match for me is through the roof. Like, we'll talk about Kenny Omega's promo in just a minute, but anytime I get Danielson cutting a promo or Moxley cutting a promo, it's just money.
I love that their gimmick is that the world has gone soft.
Yes.
Without saying those words, that is their gimmick. The world has gone soft. Yeah, that's hilarious to me because, you know, it's like a lot of people say it all the time, but they're saying it without saying it. And it's like people always say, can you be a heel in a different way? You can. You know, they're saying the same heel shit that the Elite have went soft. They're not professionals. The Elite doesn't want to leave the world better than where they brought it in. You know, the Blackpool Combat Club wants to leave it better. They're raising Willer to be better than them. And he's like, who has the Elite taken under their wing to make better than them? And it's just like, dude, this is just such a good way of presenting it because it's not a heel promo. It wasn't a heel promo. It was very much how you look at it promo. If you're a Blackpool Combat Club, that was a face promo. We're trying to make the world better. You're not. If you're an Elite fan, it was a heel promo. We think you've gone soft. So I just think this is a very interesting way of telling the story, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley in a cage. Dude, yeah, that's just money. That's just money. I was about to say, the first time I ever did they announced something one week and then I buy a ticket the next week was, I think it was like the early December. They announced Kenny Omega versus Moxley in Jacksonville. And I literally that night bought a plane ticket, went in and watched the show, watched The First Winter Is Coming. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's that type of impact right there. That's the type of impact that a Moxley and Omega match gets. And you're going to have it in a cage, and you're going to have it on cable television. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we have the Outcast Saraya facing off against Willow Nightingale. And this was a pretty okay match, I would say. Willow has done pretty well in her matches, and Saraya in these, like, not incredibly long matches, but these matches that feature a lot more interference. She shines a lot more on it too. And there was a ton of interference in this match by the Outcast. Saraya's had Ruby Soho and Toni Storm get involved. Ruby got fucking pounced against the ropes, which was really awesome. But eventually, Saraya hits the goodnight on her, and she gets the pinfall and beats Willow Nightingale. And they start beating up Willow after the match. And then my girl, Hikaru Shida, comes out. And first time we've seen her in months. And she runs in with her kendo stick. She's got her arm ready to go as the Outcasts are just staring at her. And then she hugs them. And I was just like, what? Hikaru Shida hugs Toni Storm and hugs Ruby Soho, aligns herself with the Outcast as she prepares to line up Willow Nightingale and hit her with the kendo stick as the Saraya and all of them and the Outcast get Willow held up, getting ready to hit her. And as she winds up to hit, you see Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter come up, and Sheeta's just like, nope. Y'all got swerved, and just all of a sudden, that's when Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker jump the Outcast. She just starts slamming them with her kendo stick, and then she grabs the spray. But also, she grabbed the spray paint because she was gonna spray Willow in the face with it, and then she sprays Saraya in the face with the green spray paint, and then that's eventually when they spray AEW across Saraya, Ruby, and Tony's bodies. And thank God that was a swerve, because they had me. They had me, honestly. I was just like, what are you doing making Sheeta a heel? I was like, what are you doing? I was like, no. Don't you dare do this to me. First off, I was very happy to see her back. I was a big surprise to see her come back. But then her hugging them, I was like, what? Because I was like, what reasoning would she even have to join the Outcasts? And then thankfully, all a ruse, all set up, and yeah, Sheeta coming back and aligning herself with Britt and Jamie was amazing, and the segment worked really well. Honestly, they got me fucking hook, line, and sinker. Honestly, good work,
dude. Let me tell you, in my head, I had the reason that she had turned on him. I was like, dude, think about it. When she was the champ.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift the Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
This far into rush hour traffic, most people would have rage accelerated at least once. But not you, Lacey No Hard Accelerations Ever Johnson. Because you are a safe driver. And like most drivers who sign up for Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate for how and how much you drive, you could earn a discount for your good driving. So if your hula dancing dashboard doll thinks you're going to hard accelerate because you're running late, then your hula dancing dashboard doll doesn't know. Lacey No Hard Accelerations Ever Johnson. Sign up for Snapshot today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
Champion is like Britt Baker was a heel. You know, the whole audience turned on Sheeta to go for Britt Baker. I mean, there's your reason right there. But yeah, they kind of got me like the moment. And this again. I watch wrestling too long, so sometimes getting lost in the fun doesn't happen for me when I want it to happen. She didn't hit anybody with the kendo stick.
Yeah, I mean...
she comes down to the ring with the kendo stick.
No, she hit people with it.
No, I'm saying she hit Willow.
Huh?
She didn't hit Willow.
Yeah, no, I know that, yeah.
And when she didn't hit Willow, I was like, oh, she's not turning.
Gotcha.
The heel turn would be her beating Willow with the kendo stick. She threw the kendo stick down and hugged them, and I was like, oh, she's not turning.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. I want to get lost, but sometimes my brain stops me from getting lost. I had jumped to that conclusion. Oh, she didn't hit her with the kendo stick. She's not turning. So they had me for like a few seconds. And then it was like, oh. Yeah, I'm like on the phone with JR. And I was like, oh, she's not turning. And he's like, why? I was like, she didn't hit her with the kendo stick. She has to beat Willow with the kendo stick for it to be a heel turn.
Right, because then otherwise there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
It'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's how you turn heel. And then it's like, I hate that Willow had to be the sacrificial lamb. I hate that Hikaru Shida was there and Britt and Jamie were under the ring and they couldn't help her before she got pinned.
Yeah, about that.
It's called wrestling logic. Ignore it. It's just fast forward past that part in your brain. That's the kind of stuff that you have to put out of your brain, but it's just like, so y'all had it 4-on-3, but you still let her lose? Willow should turn heel. No, even though she would be the worst heel ever because, her whole thing is that she's happy. I really enjoyed this segment. This thing with these three is progressing too damn slowly. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my only critique about it. I like the 3-on-3. It's progressing so freaking slowly that I could see someone more casually losing interest.
No, yeah.
Like I said, I mean, I like like where it's going, I don't like that it's taking so long to get there.
No, yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. We've been like that for a while, and I think it's just because we've had so much weeks of just filler.
Yeah,
like
so
if this had happened like a couple weeks ago, then no one would have cared. I feel like.
Yeah, so we got our 3-on-3, right? Or at least, we got our 3-on-3 going into maybe, I don't know, maybe they do it in Austin or whatever. So we got a 6-3-way. I mean, 6-man. Maybe we get it next week, whatever. But it's just like whatever it needs, what's going on needs to progress a little faster.
Yes, for sure. But then we had a really interesting promo segment from the Trios World Champions, the House of Black, where they said, come one, come all, because there's going to be an open house for their Trios titles. They threw them on the ground, basically, at one point. It was like, we're defending these on our terms, basically. So they're doing open house rules, which I'm going to try to remember exactly all the rules to them. First off, they said they're going to have 20-second count out rule. So it's not a 10-second count out. It's a 20-second count out, basically. So you can't run and hide as much as you would like. There's no rope breaks. There are disqualifications, but there is also some sort of what was the thing that they said after that? That there are disqualifications.
Because they need balance. Okay.
Yeah, some sort of
no rope breaks, optional DQs.
Optionals, yeah. So you got to choose whether or not you wanted DQs enforced or if you did want them.
Because that's how they balance it out, is by letting the other person decide. He said the world needs balance.
Yep. So, but the main thing is no rope breaks and 20-second count outs instead of 10. So it's a cool way, honestly, for them to kind of change up things a little bit, and it fits in line with what they've done. And it just makes it exciting, too, just to see who ends up coming for those trios titles. Because, again, House of Black is one of the most entertaining trios that AEW has. And there are a good amount of trios that are on the roster that can go after House of Black. And they can get some big wins under their belt with those titles. So, and that would lead into the Trey de Mayo Battle Royal as well.
Yes. I didn't even realize that it was literally it was the May 3rd Trios Battle Royal. I didn't even understand. I was like, that hit me way too late. It's like when you've noticed something, but it takes you way too long to notice it, and it's like, oh. But I'm one of those people, I don't really do the shame thing, so I'll tell you when I find myself looking silly. I was like, oh, so because I saw the name of the tournament, I was like, I don't get it. Why did they have to? Oh, it's the May 3rd tournament. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
But this I felt like this kind of also gave you an idea of who would be going after House of Black first in those open house matches. So the teams that were in the Battle Royal were Lucha Bros and El Hijo del Vikingo, Kip Sabian in the Butcher and the Blade, Dark Order featuring Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, and John Silver. The Varsity Athletes, Arya Daivari, Josh Woods, and Tony Nese. The Acclaimed, and QT Marshall, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Aaron Solo. They don't call them the Factory or anything like that, but I guess because Hobbs is in it, it's not exactly.
They're called QTV. So.
Oh, just straight up QTV. Yeah.
So they're the QTV crew.
Okay. This was I will say this was an okay Battle Royal. I felt like there were some good moments in there. Specifically, I loved how Johnny Hungy got a little bit, because we haven't seen that dude do it much in quite some time. And I remember there was a point where John Silver was literally one of the most entertaining side things that AEW had, and could do fun stuff. So I was glad at least that they got to have him do some fun shit before they eliminated the Dark Order. The teams that it came down to were Kip Sabian, Butcher and Blade, and the Acclaimed. Daddy Ass getting a lot of big momentum in there as well. I also especially loved the way that they had, because Kip Sabian, Butcher and Blade also had Penelope Ford by their side too, the way that she would try to get involved sometimes. But eventually you had stereo famousers from Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn, which knocked out Kip Sabian and Butcher, and they threw him over the top rope. The Acclaimed win the trios Battle Royal from May 3rd. And that kind of gives me the idea that they're going to be the first team that gets a chance to kind of go after House of Black with these house rules matches.
Yeah, and that makes sense because the House of Black, one of the most over groups in AEW, and the Acclaim might be the most popular tag team in AEW. I mean,
pretty damn close.
Yeah, I may say they wouldn't make my list because I am ever so slightly biased, but they're probably they get the biggest reactions of anybody in the company. So, so the Acclaim versus the House of Black, that's the nice build up there. And I think at this point, Billy Gunn's been looking at Jeff Jarrett and he's like, why is he getting all the run? Look at me. Exactly. I'm literally bigger than everybody on this company. Dude, it's like there's big and then there's Billy Gunn big, who just dude is ridiculously large. And I like, if you watching this battle royal, this is like if you want to watch like a closer wrestling fan, if you want to go back and watch this, look at the crafty veteran. He doesn't do much in this battle royal. He's a lot of times just standing in a corner, throwing a few punches, whatever. He was like, his movements were, he was on reserve. You know what I mean? I hope this doesn't sound like an insult because when you're that age, I'm like, I don't care how the kind of shape it is, you should limit how many times you're bumping. So it was genius. It's just like, it's something I'm watching the match, kind of watching the match, and I just kind of noticed, I'm like, this was a very efficient performance by Billy Gunn. That's the word I'm going to use. Efficient. Yeah. He was efficient.
Yeah. I'll agree with that one as well. He was efficient.
Yes.
But yeah, so moving off from that, though, we had Sammy Guevara backstage, and MJF comes out, and Sammy's like, look, I'm not stupid. I watched the show back last week. You got into a car, because after they had done their little, they got chased off a bit, MJF gets in his car being like, go, go, go. He's like, sorry, Sammy, there's no seats available. Like, it's full, the car's full. And they literally show the camera inside the car. There's nobody else in the car other than the driver. And he's like, so Sammy's like, what the fuck, dude? You left me by myself. And he's like, look, I'm sorry. I promised myself I wasn't going to get emotional, but I have a back issue. I've had a chronic back issue from carrying this company for so many years. Fucking great line. He's like, look, I needed the car so I could have it to myself, spread out. I apologize. And Sammy apologized, saying he shouldn't have doubted him. And there was a point where MJF literally kisses Sammy on his forehead, which fucking, oh my God. And then they just said, you know what? We're good. We're going to have our main event at Double or Nothing like we always wanted. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And nice little funny backstage thing. Sammy and MJF are, yes. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had it on mute. They are gold together. Sammy and MJF are gold together. When they do a full-on one-on-one feud, whenever that is, it's going to be amazing, especially the talking back. Because, Sammy, is he a strong one? Is he a strong just put the mic in his hand promo? No. But, God, his comebacks, when he's coming back on people, that's when he's at his strongest. When he's just, it seems like where he's just coming off the cuff. As long as he's not thinking about it, everything comes off more natural. And he's like, I thought this whole segment kind of shined on Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, no, honestly, it worked out really, really well for him. We then had Kenny Omega and Don Callis respond to Jon Moxley, being like, you're telling me you have a plan for next week? You're telling me all this stuff, new Jon Moxley. Don Callis then got involved too, talking, being like, look at this scar on my forehead, because every time I've had to look in the mirror, I've had to be reminded of what you did to me. It's like, you're a sick, twisted sociopath, and it will come to an end in Detroit when you meet the god of pro wrestling. He's like, look, you might make me bleed, John, and you might be so sadistic that you make yourself bleed. But at the end of the day, everything comes to an end in Detroit. You're not going to be left standing. And what you and the BCC did to me, the Young Bucks, Takeshita, what you did to Don, you made it personal. And it all ends next week. Goodbye, good night. Also, I will say, there's one person that he did not mention that the BCC jumped. There's one other person who also got pretty messed up by the BCC. He left a guy out.
Oh, no, and this is the brilliance of AEW, right? Kenny Omega does not like Hangman. He's like, me and Hangman aren't friends. He's made that very clear. The Young Bucks like Hangman. Hangman likes the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega does not like the Hangman. Hangman is the guy that technically put him out for a year, even though we know, yeah, so he doesn't like him. And I love that. I love complicated friendships. The thing about it is everybody has a friend that another friend doesn't fuck with. And that's Kenny Omega and Hangman right now. It's like, I mean, you friend with the Young Bucks. I'm not friends with you. And they're not afraid to say it to each other, and I like it.
Yeah. After that, we had the TNT champion Wardlow beat up on some guy named Logan. And then afterwards, he's like, I can do this all day. I haven't even broken a sweat. Christian, bring your monster out here. We'll do this thing right here in Baltimore. Open TNT challenge. Christian walks out and be like, look, Christian says, Baltimore, you're ignorant. You're trash. Keep it down. I'm conducting business because, look, this title shot that you're offering, it's not going to belong to Luchasaurus. It's going to belong to me. And Wardlow was like, oh, I see. So Christian has made it clear he is going after Wardlow for the TNT title, which is honestly what I prefer, honestly. I like Luchasaurus. I do. But it's more interesting, honestly, with Christian. I just feel like that's just how I personally feel. Though I'm sure we will get the big meaty men slap and meet with Wardlow and Christian. I mean, Wardlow and Luchasaurus very shortly, I'm sure.
I think Christian is going to get the most out of Wardlow.
Yes.
Christian puts together, a good match. He got a lot out of Jungle Boy that we hadn't seen before. I think he's going to get the most out of Wardlow. And the idea that, like, a lot of times the reason the Hoss matches doesn't work with Wardlow is because how Wardlow is booked to win is he has to win dominant. And that's really not how you should win, a Hoss match. But he can beat Christian dominant, right? And that's not a big deal because Christian's smaller than him, or Christian can cheat and win. There's a lot of different... I think there is more story with Christian than there would be with Luchasaurus.
Yeah, no, that's honest to God the truth. Afterwards, after this, we had a weird segment of Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh, and Jeff Jarrett visiting Mark Briscoe in Sandy Fork.
A 5-star segment. 5-star segment.
And they're just like, yeah, we just want to come out and help around the farm. Fucking Satnam has overalls. Sanjay has overalls. And they come out. They're fucking helping on the farm with Mark. Jeff's playing guitar for his kid. And then that's when Papa Briscoe then comes out. And everyone gets a little scared. And then they go off. And you could see fucking Satnam Singh and all of them dancing around while Satnam's holding the kid, and they're just dancing around. And Papa Briscoe is like, "Chicken, you tell me you trust that dope in the overalls?" And he goes, "Which one?" Because like literally, like both of them. Like, I get it, you're cool with Jay, but like you trust those idiots? And that left it as that. And then Jay Lethal issued a challenge to FTR for him and Jeff Jarrett to face FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championships in Las Vegas. Now, did they specify that this was going to be Double or Nothing, or did they specify that this was going to be like either Rampage or Dynamite at the MGM Grand Garden Arena?
They didn't specify, but I'm thinking it's going to be, Jeff Jarrett has a way of getting himself in great matches, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Double or Nothing. I was outside hoping that it was going to be in, like in Austin in a couple weeks, because FTR is going to actually reply to the challenge next week. But we will see. We will see where it happens. I'm hoping if it's not in Austin, that it is in the in Double or Nothing, because I am not going to the other shows that weekend. Or you're not either, right? You're just... No,
I am not. No, yeah. I'm only going to be at Double or Nothing. And me personally, I would like a team that's a little bit more like established to face FTR for the tag team titles at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, it feels like this
doesn't feel like a pay-per-view match.
FTR versus FTR and Lethal feels like a Dynamite match. And not even a main event, like an opener.
Yes.
Yeah, like no disrespect to FTR and Jay Lethal, it's just
and I get that I get that the story has been built around them for a while. I mean, literally on Rampage last week, you had Jay Lethal versus Cash, and then the whole idea is that Mark Briscoe got hit, but like he got Cash shoved into him by Lethal, and he started being like, Cash, what the fuck, dude? I get that's like kind of what the story is that they're going with, but like, I'm sorry, dude. I want FTR to be against teams that are teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many of them. It'd be different if there wasn't, but there's too many of them. But we will see. I will let it happen. Dax and Cash Jeff Jarrett literally has not missed in AEW. Jay Lethal, excellent performer. FTR, they're the best tag team in the world. They would put on a very entertaining match. But for me, I like to be some suspension of like my disbelief where I think the other team could win.
Right, exactly.
And I don't think they can win. So maybe I'm wrong. It just feels like, hey, this is your starter feud.
Yeah, so after this, though, we had Rock Hard Juice Robinson face off against Absolute Ricky Starks. First of all, happy 10-year anniversary to the Bullet Club. Just got to say that outright. For life. Just had to mention that.
Switchblade.
Yes. So Jay White actually let Juice handle this match on his own, and he just walked to the back. So this was a really good match, honestly. I thought these guys did a really good job. I fucking love, like, Ricky, honest to God, we're typically used to seeing people with major size hit the spear, whether it be Goldberg, whether it be Batista, whether it be Edge, whether it be Roman Reigns. Ricky's got a damn good spear when he hits it. Like, I gotta say, first of all, because he'll hit that with such speed that the speed and impact as he goes off the ropes, it fucking hits, I gotta say. But these guys did a pretty damn good match. Ricky at one point was like being tried to carry Juice Robinson up on top of the steel steps and then fucking threw him off and just like had him just get fucking flat backed on the outside mat, and that was fucking great as he got body slammed there. But after the spear and the Rochambeau, Ricky Starks got the victory. Jay White then proceeded to jump Ricky afterwards. That was going to happen, but then eventually Ricky was able to avoid it. The Blade Runner tried to get the Rochambeau, but then Juice proceeded to grab Jay and pull him out of the ring, and then they ran off. So,
and Jay White's good. Jay White's so good outside the ring. He like Ricky says, almost after you. He's like, we don't do almost. Almost doesn't count. And he's Jay Lethal and Jay White, and everything he says sounds like such like a dick. It was great. Like, even if you start to like him, you're gonna generally not like him. You're gonna genuinely not like him.
And this was a really good penultimate match for the main event, honestly, because like I thought this was a good match to kind of lead in and continue to get hyped up for the main event, I will say.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And where this was the Golden Bullet Club, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Bullet Club Gold.
Bullet Club Gold goes. I mean, of course they got to add a new member. I don't know who it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't feel like a 2-man group is where to go, but let's see where this goes.
Yeah. We then, move over to the main event. The Four Pillars tag match. MJF, the AEW World Champion, and the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, teaming up against Darby Allin and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. If Darby and Jack win, we get the Fatal 4-Way, the Four Pillars 4-Way. This match was great. There was a moment, actually, where before the match happened, MJF was like, listen, you're twice the wrestler Sammy is. Like, all you have to do to be able to make this happen is betray Darby. Because, like, look, you're not championship material, but I'm offering you a spot next to the throne. And Jack Perry immediately shut him down on that, But then Darby Allin walks in on MJF and Jack, and he goes like, "What's this?" He's like, "Hey, you should talk to your boy about that. I'm just conducting business." And Jack was like, "Don't worry, man, we got this." And Darby's like, No, I got this, because he's just like, "Fuck you that. I'm making sure we win this match on my own, just because I don't fully trust you." So of course you had the distrust between Sammy and MJF, had the distrust between Darby. So there's a point in the match where where MJF and Sammy Guevara are arguing over who gets the final pinfall, because of course they do. Eventually though, also I have to say this beforehand, there was a point where somebody's feet was on the ropes or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I think like they had somebody's feet on the ropes, and fucking the referee just comes over and just fucking knocks the feet down. I can't remember exactly the spot. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Where it's like his feet are on the ropes or something, and he like fucking straight up just knocks him down. It was the funniest shit, I thought. Because of course it came from the guy who it came from Bryce Remsburg, because of course it does with spots like that.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny when he does it. But regardless, afterwards, Sammy Guevara gets hit with a thrust kick, and Darby Allin Jack Perry looks like he's gonna get the pinfall though, and it was a blind tag. And then Darby Allin was gonna go for the coffin drop while Jack Perry was already going for the pinfall, and then like Jack has to get out of the way at the last second before the coffin drop hits, and that's when the pinfall happens. It's official. The Pillars 4-way is happening, and Darby's just staring at Jungle Boy. It's like just like they're staring at each other, and MJF is beside himself because his plan fell apart, and Sammy's down after taking a loss. This was a great match, honestly. I'm still a little like foggy on all the details because it just happened. But just I enjoyed the match from start to finish. And I think this 4-way is just going to be I'm so excited for this 4-way.
Yeah, it was great, and they have built up the perfect amount of dissension between all of them.
Yes.
Darby doesn't trust Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy doesn't like Darby. Like I said, Darby said Jungle Boy and MJF are basically the same guy to him. And, him and Sammy, he respected Sammy, but he didn't like Sammy. So it's just like everybody has their own beef with it. It's that 4-way. It's not many times you can say the main event can be the sleeper of a show, but I just truly think it might just be like whatever your expectations are, it's going to blow them out the water.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And that closed out Dynamite for this week in Baltimore, which was honestly a pretty solid show, I will say. But this definitely felt like the build-up show to probably what will be one of the biggest Dynamites before Double or Nothing, which ironically will be Detroit, because holy shit, that show looks like it's going to be stacked. Before we get to the matches that were announced for that, of course, for Rampage this week, which is on at an earlier time because of the NBA playoffs, you got the Firm Deletion, which is going to be taking place. Who all is in that match again? We got Matt Hardy in Private Party. And then who else was also in that match? I know the Firm, like majority of the Firm was in there too. So
yeah, it's Matt. Is it not both a Private Party? Just one. It's just Matt.
Oh, is it only just Isaiah Cassidy?
Yeah, Matt, Isaiah Cassidy, and Jeff, and Hook. Those are their 4. The other 4 are Ethan Page, Big Bill. Big Bill,
Lee Moriarty,
and Stokely.
Yes, okay. Gotcha. I just want to make sure I got all the people that were in there, because that's honestly the reason why you should tune in for Rampage at all, is because of a Firm Deletion.
I am excited about the cameos.
I'm sure it's going to be, the cameos I'm sure will be lovely, and it'll be stupid, dumb fun. You also got Lucha Bros and El Vikingo teaming up to face QTV with Hobbs, Solo, and QT Marshall. Preston Vance will also be facing Mark Briscoe, and then we're also going to have Jade Cargill in action. But for Detroit next week, of course, steel cage, Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. But also, it was announced that we're going to get fucking another stellar international title defense between Orange Cassidy, but he's defending it against Daniel
Garcia.
Daniel Garcia. Jesus Christ, I don't know why that stuck out of my head. But Daniel Garcia versus Orange Cassidy for the international championship. I'm so fucking excited for that. That Detroit show looks like it's going to be stellar. And again, I love how good the Detroit shows like I mean, there's only been 2, but like they've given Detroit, like Detroit's been eaten for shows, and I appreciate that considering how fucking long it took for them to come to Detroit in the first place. I get it, pandemic and all that shit, I understand, but you couldn't even make it to Detroit when Brandy still worked for the goddamn company. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Detroit's finally getting some good shit from AEW. Blood and Guts was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And this, we're gonna get hardcore wrestling, but between 2 of the like top wrestlers in AEW, and it's gonna be just violence, but also just so fucking good. I'm so excited for how this turns out. I just cannot wait for that Detroit show.
Dude, it's going to be an awesome show. FTR is going to speak. And,
yes, we have that as well.
They're going to accept your challenge. So anytime I can see my boys out there, I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a great show. Shout out to all the people in Detroit. I am going to make it to a Dynamite in Detroit one of these days. I'm going to make it to a wrestling show in Detroit one of these days.
Absolutely.
But so it's going to be an amazing show. We got a lot to look forward to as we build to Double or Nothing. And, we're also building to another monument for this show.
Absolutely. We're getting so close to 200. So close. And we're going to be so excited for when that hits. Now, there's only one real other piece of news that we have. And it's a pretty, honestly, big piece of news considering, at least through wrestling, social media, and through internet wrestling community.
Dude, he's actually trending. Congratulations, Will. As in, congratulations to Will Washington. He was announced today. Will Washington is All Elite. He was hired on by AEW today. I think he was like a wrestling coordinator. I think that's what it was called. Tony Khan announced it. I thought that was cool because, I know he had left Fightful, and I was like, dude, why would he leave Fightful? His job just seemed like it was solid.
Yeah, he's the new wrestling administration coordinator.
Yeah, working many areas of wrestling, live events, social media, creative PR. Just sounds like I've used this term tonight, but I'll say it again. Sounds like he's just like a Swiss Army knife. Wherever he can fill in, he's going to fill in. I mean, every time I've ever listened to him, he's a bright wrestling mind. So he is. I am genuinely happy for him to make it. You do the work, you get the job. So congrats to Will Washington on getting that.
Yeah, no, absolutely a huge moment for him. It's awesome. Honestly, you got a guy who's been involved with talking about wrestling and just being involved. Covering it, and now he's working with AEW. It's a great moment for him, I'm sure. And I feel like not a lot of people have much bad to say about him, and he's very intertwined with. I remember, dude, I see him all the time on fucking Quizomania and shit like that.
Yeah,
so.
With all the jealousy that's in wrestling fandom and all that stuff, you don't hear anything bad said about that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And so that speaks to more of his character and how he handles himself on social media. So yeah, good job, Will. Congrats. The only thing else I wanted to bring up on the countdown to 200, I was going to throw this out there. We're going to be trying to do stuff, have guests on, get shout-outs, all that stuff. But, dude, the banger, our new intro that is coming.
Oh, my God.
All right, it's coming for episode 200. I'm I got an itchy trigger finger. Rich Latta, genius, Rich Latta said, go ahead. And he's like, oh, go ahead and let it go. And I was like, dude, no, I'm going to wait for 200. I'm going to wait for 200. And it's just I'm excited for everybody to hear it. A few people close to me, Austin being one of them, have heard it, and I haven't heard one person not say it's amazing. So Shit's fire. I only say that to point you to, if you have a podcast or, have something and need an intro, go to Fiverr.com, Danger32. That's Mr. Rich Latta. He has very, very reasonable prices on making your song. Literally, I told him, I'm trying not to stop sneezing. Sorry. I told him at like 6 o'clock in the morning, I want the 200, right? By 2 o'clock, I went to sleep. By the time I woke up, he was done.
That's crazy.
Like bars, beat, everything. And it was exactly what I wanted. Actually, hold on. That's a lie. It was better than what I wanted to. Better than what I could expect it. Completely fire. Dude, I was like, man, we should add more and just make this a whole damn song. That's how good it was. So he is my favorite producer, second favorite rapper. Eminem being number one. But I love me some Rich. Go ahead and check him out. He's at RichLotta32 on Twitter. Make sure you support him. Get your fire song. Hey, man, you might just want a theme song to work out to. Hit up Rich. He got you.
Dude, yeah, he gets on that shit, and he does good at it, too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put him over.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's going to close it, though, for this episode of All Things Elite. We're so close to 200. Guys, thank you so much for supporting us and for listening to the podcast. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you are subscribed and you have notifications on so that way you never miss an episode. We know we can be a little bit frantic sometimes and other things can get in the way. So make sure you have notifications on if you want to make sure you get every single episode of this show. And be sure to keep downloading this show on Google or Apple Podcasts. If you listen to us on Spotify, wherever you listen to us, share us around with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Leave a rating and a review. It really does help. And you can follow us on Twitter at ATElitePod. Also follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible and have a bunch of other great shows that you should check out. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. If you need me for the next, fucking at least week or two, I will be deep into listening to the new Ed Sheeran album, probably crying my eyes out. Subtract is going to be amazing. The Marvin Gaye estate can eat my ass. You cannot own chord progressions. That entire case is bullshit, and I hope that it finally gets resolved because you're literally in like almost 7+ days of the damn trial, and it's stupid as shit. You cannot own chord progressions. It is pop music, for God's sakes. That is all I will say on that. And also, Ticketmaster, fuck you for fucking me out of a pre-sale code to be able to go see him at Royal Oak. You're a bunch of bitches. I don't like you. That's all I gotta say. And I will pass it off to my boy Floyd so he can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite. I will see all of y'all in Detroit for that Dynamite. It's gonna be dope.
I wonder. A random thought. I wonder if Satnam Singh's overalls is like in the Guinness Book of World Record for largest overalls ever.
It has to be, and also it's got to be one of the greatest images I've ever seen in wrestling.
Dude, no shirt, no overalls, and then holding a baby.
Holding a baby. That completed the look.
Yes. Satnam Singh, I think they're doing well with him, like getting him into the, you're making him a normal face. He's not just this dominant giant person. So I think that's really cool. But thank you to everyone that has listened to our show, minute or second or whatever. We're going to be trying to show our appreciation. I haven't exactly decided how I'm going to do that as we get towards the 200, because I do know there are a lot of my friends and family listen every week just to support me. A lot, Austin's friends and family listen every week to support him. So we want to try to do something, try to do giveaways. I have a lot of stuff here. I just got to decide which, the good shit so I can give it away. Cause I'm not trying to give away stuff I don't want. I want to give away good shit. So no, we're going to try to do something to just show everybody our appreciation. I don't know what it is, but I'm working on it. And for that, I will say, be nice to everyone. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I did not know that. On May 1st, I actually took a mental health day from work, just like I had been burning the candle at both ends, working out, working. I just like, you know what? I just need a break. I need a day. And I was able to take it. It wasn't even that big deal. I didn't even think of it as that. But then found out it was mental health awareness. I say this about mental health. Do whatever you need to do to get through the day, whether it is therapy, whether it is talking to friends, whether it's prayer, whatever it is that it takes you to get through the day that doesn't harm anyone else and not harming yourself. Yeah, I don't want you drinking all day. Whatever it takes you to get to the day, make sure you look into it. And this month is to take a moment to reflect inside of yourself, to see what is working for you, what is not working for you. And your body, your life should always be a continuous improvement session. As in, you should always look ways to improve and deal with your day-to-day and, work and school and the muck and the unexpected shit that comes up that gets on your mood. Because I can honestly say, for about the last month, I know no one will be able to tell by the show, but for the last month, I have not been in the best mood. And it took me literally talking to people and actually admitting that I had not been in the greatest mood ever and why I wasn't in the greatest mood ever to actually start getting me on the path of being in a better mood. And it was like, for me, it was embarrassing, so I'm not going to say it on here. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm on the path of getting better, and I hope you all can doing what you can to take care of yourself. And with that, I will leave you how I always leave you. Whether it is home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.
Progressive presents an ad from Mom.
When you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, bundle. That's a cute word. What? Read it again? Okay. When you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you get round-the-clock protection. Oh, that's darn good. Because once my older sister Dottie, her basement flooded.
Get round-the-clock protection when you bundle and save with Progressive. It's easier than getting your mom to make this radio ad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.